Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you. My name is Pastor Yemi Omogboyega. Thank you for patronizing our channel. Kindly, if you have not done so, kindly subscribe to our channel. Like our videos so that YouTube will recommend us to others. Then share our videos extensively so that people can benefit from them. Then you may press the notification button so that you get to know when we upload new videos. And like I did say, your subscription is an evidence of your love of what is good and that you love us too, just as we love you. Please endeavor to subscribe. God bless you. I'm not here now to sermonize because since I said I'm here, Pastor Yemi Omogboyega, what will go straight into your mind is the fact that I want to preach a sermon to you. I want to minister to you. I want to just concentrate on the spiritual aspect of life. No. In this channel, what we do is we look at your spiritual, and that is satisfied by the various teachings, sermons, exhortations, prayers, and so on and so forth. Then we don't stop at that. We look at your health situation. Health is wealth. And we also share experiences with you on things that could make you live a better life. Many of the things that we are spiritualizing, they are not spiritual matters. So the earlier you knew about how to go about solving them, the better for you, and particularly the better for your old age. And that's one of the things we are going to address today. Then number three, we look at your financial situation in life. Many of us, we pray, and we claim the promise of God according to Deuteronomy 28 from verse 12 to 14. Or let me start from verse 10. Verse 10 says, I shall send my rains at the appropriate time, and so on and so forth. And by the time it gets to verse 12, it says, you shall be head and not tail. You shall be buoyant and shall not have need to borrow. Instead, you shall be a lender to nations. And you have been claiming this all along, and you have been dreaming of the day you shall get there. I want to tell you that you don't get there unless you do what the Bible tells you to do. And unless you do what the Bible tells you to do, you don't get there. So if you are just believing and claiming, you are just living in a dream world. So we look at your finances and how to get there in terms of making the money that you need. Even the Bible confirms money answereth all things. But at the same time, the Bible also says money is the root of all evils. Money is at the root of all evils. It now depends upon how you apply the money that you are given. But before you make that money, before you talk about that money, you must know what you want to do with it, evil or good. So, we also teach you on some things that will enable you to make this money and how to make it. Do you know that the principle that is elucidated in the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 28, which says, be fruitful, multiply, and dominate. Be fruitful, multiply and dominate. It's what gives you the power to make money. And the power to make money resides in your ability to turn that little that you are earning today into a seed for purposes of multiplication. If you don't multiply it, you get nowhere financially. And most of us, we tend to pursue luxuries. We tend to enjoy ourselves with the early monies we make in our lives instead of multiplying them. Multiplying them. What is at the root of most people's financial failure is because they ate it all, or they eat it all. Everything they earn, they eat it all. So if you are in that position, you will find that you will may you not live a regrettable life. Now, like I said, this is not sermonization. So we touch on anything that will help your life. So please propagate this message to everyone by sharing the message. And God bless you. Like I said, it's not a sermonization. And I will give this topic, as a topic like, if you want to live a peaceful, painless life after 60 years, you must change your lifestyle. You must change your lifestyle. Let me start by saying that there are two major parts of life. Your active life and your passive life. Active and passive life. What do I mean by this? Your active life starts from the very beginning of your life, when you were born as a child or as a baby. Of course, you are active, you are agile, and you're strong, but you are not strong you are not as strong as a man who has, even a boy who has lived for about 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah, sorry, I have to adjust the fan. Now, you are not as active as somebody who is old. And as you grow up in life, you increase in your energy and you channel that energy towards the cause of your life. And this energy continues to increase until you are about 50 years. About 50 years. And between 50 and 60, you are in between activity and passivity. That is why, you remember in the olden days, men retire at 55 years. Women retire at 50 years. But as life changes, a lot of people really did not meet their goals before these golden ages. Agitation came and people began to agitate for retirement at 60 years. And today, the official retirement age, especially in government sector, even in private sectors, is 60 years, both for males and female. I pray for you that you will not even wait until 60 before you retire yourself into your own private life, because it is better to live when the ovation is loudest. Whatever you cannot achieve by the age of, honestly speaking, by the age of 60, assuming you even wait till 60, you better go back home and rest, because you are already moving, you are already in your passive years. I know some people are clamoring now for 70 years retirement age. After that, what next? They will ask for 80 years, they will ask for 100 years. May you not die before your time. May you not die, serving others without even enjoying the fruit of your labors. That is why it is always said that people should plan their lives and work hard and try to follow the principle of multiplication. That is, do some things that will make your old age smooth and enjoyable for you. Invest in your children. Invest in things that you can be doing till your dying day. For instance, I would say lawyers, for instance, priests, name them. They don't retire. Architects, they don't retire, because what they are doing in their active years, they can still practice in their old and their passive years, and money will still be coming. Then those of us who planned our lives very well, we will be reaping the fruits of our labors after 60. If you have trained your children very well, if the children are grateful, they will come back to help you. If you have supported people who are in need in your active days, some of these people, God may touch their hearts. They may remember you for good in your old age. If you have invested in businesses, let me take, for example, maybe you have real estate. I always remember the words of Daddy Adeboye, who said one of his children, that is members, told him one day that, Daddy, I can never be poor in my life again. I can never be poor in my life again. And he said, how do you mean? And he said, by the time he made a research about the guy owned over 100 houses in different locations, high brow, medium brow, low brow, anywhere in Lagos alone, talk less of the other ones that he had in other areas, that the rent he's collecting from all those ones, was enough for him never to go broke again till his dying day. Then some people invested in businesses, and these businesses survived, and they made money throughout their lifetime, whether in their acting. In fact, they retire into these businesses when they retire from the active side. Maybe they were still working for other organizations or government or whatever before. They retire to these active services, to these the businesses they invested in their early days. They retire to them, and they do it now passively. They just oversee and manage others to do it for them, and they are making the money. Some people also invested in something like shares or stock market. In the stock market, indeed, there are myriads. Everything that is in this world is money. So those who invested in stock market, forget about the crash that happened in between 2006 and 2010, that shares went down. and the stock market crashed. Even today, if you are investing in shares, you will still make your money from there. And then some people also, like I said, invested in their talents. Some musicians, they invested in their talents. People like King Sunny Ade, like, name them. Michael Jackson, like anybody that is a musician, for instance, who is wise, will invest in that talent. And Tope Alabi and so on and so forth today that we're hearing of. So they will make their money from there, and then they will diversify into something like stock market, something like real estate, something like any other businesses or passion that they have, so that in their old age they won't suffer. So they invested in those ones, and then again, a lot of people also invested very well in their health, and by the time they are old, it paid them off. Then some people invested in, we are going to talk about that one. Some people also invested in various other skills that will make money. You know, I told you we are talking about making money. Making money is very important. And to make money, you only need to simply investment, and I've talked about them. So this is not financial lecture yet. We are coming back to that, but we are talking about now investing in your health. Now, to God be the glory. I'm old enough now to be able to say something about aging, that is growing old, because I am in my passive years. All right? I'm beyond 60. So I've experienced both sides of life, the active and the passive life. Now, my discovery about life is that when we are young, our lifestyles differ from what it should be when we are old, when we are above 60. In fact, anything above 60 is called the sick zone. The sick zone. But those who took good care of themselves, honestly speaking, they don't get sick. Late Chief Akintola Williams, I happened to be in his house one day, officially, and I met him. As soon as we completed our discussions, what I discovered was this man, he was 90 years old then. He just jumped into his car and started driving around. In fact, he hurriedly left me to attend to other things. The Baba Afe Babalola established a university when he was about 79 years old. And till today, he's still running that university, and he invested in other things. Those are good examples of people that you can say invested in their health and invested in their old age. And then many people like that. Let me just cite those two examples. And another thing that is unique about Afe Babalola Baba Afe Babala is that his mother lived, I think, about 120. I know it's above 120 years old. It's not a question of longevity running in their lineage alone. I know that there are some families where longevity is a scarce commodity. But even if you belong to such a family, something can still be done that may make you to break that yoke from your own life. Because there are some families that, there's a particular family that is said to not to live beyond 40. But today, a lot of children from that family, they are living far beyond that because they are able to address important issues of their lives. And they didn't just believe that, oh, they are destined to die young. No. There are some things that we need to. Even there are some things, ditto, health matters. There are some diseases that are hereditary. There are some that our lifestyle, the way we live, led us into that can cut short our lives. And there are some also, those who died early in life, maybe by a way of accidents, misfortunes, and some people die as a result of even negligence. There are so many reasons why people die. Lack of proper medical care, lack of proper spiritual care, lack of adequate and good lifestyle, that is the kind of food, drinks, and all those things. Then people kill themselves, especially those who ventured into smoking and those who enjoy luxury. Some people see this world as, let me just enjoy the luxury of life. Beer, that is alcohol. Let me enjoy the women in this world. Let me eat everything I find. Not knowing that many of these things, they kill us. And many also died before their time because they failed to observe what Christ taught us in Matthew 22:37-39. Love your God with the whole of your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Many of us deny God. The Bible says a fool says in his heart that there is no God. And then many of us, everything that concerns us is just ourselves, our wife, our children. Nothing concerns us with extended members of the family and so on and so forth. Nothing concerns us with the community. We just live and die and go like that. Many of us, we lived like that. So there is no interaction, interpersonal relationship. We do not have relationship with others. All these little things, we do not socialize. And at the end of the day, all these kind of activities makes us feel lonely at the end of the day, and it backfires, and many people die before their appointed time of life. Now, let us talk about lifestyle. Let me tell you, from age 0 to 60, maybe, let me say safely to 50, you are still in active service. If you don't have what I can say, a serious health problems that manifest before then. But after 60, surely your life will never remain the same. I did a video earlier that was talking about if you want to live a peaceful life after 60, you should go back to nature. So, I haven't gone through all these preambles, which is just to set the stage for our talk. Let us now talk about it. Whatever your lifestyle is before 60, your body system might safely take them. But after 60, surely you will surely begin to experience some old age syndrome. And old age syndrome might be in form of signs or symptoms such like arthritis, blurry vision, hypertension. Some people, hypotension. You know, hypertension is the opposite of hypotension. Hypotension is when your your BP is low. It's even more deadly than when it is high. When it's high, you can easily regulate it to stem it down. Orthodox medicine, they are taking good care of that. Even though they are not getting to the curative aspect of it, but at least they help to regulate your heart to beat within the normal healthy range. And hypotension, on the other hand, is when it is low. One can easily just drop dead suddenly. You may not have stroke. You know, BP will lead you to stroke. You may not have stroke, but you may just like that drop dead. May that not be your portion. So things that can help us to overcome these things are what we are talking about now, lifestyle, and how your lifestyle contributes to them. Now, coming to the various habits that we have. If you are the alcoholic type, if you are the if you are the gluttonous type of people that eat just anything, every party, you drink beer, you eat real meat, you eat them in high volumes, red meat, white meat, everything, bush meat, home meat, all that. Your body may still absorb them when you are under 60. But by the time you are 60, you are undoing yourself by continuing with that kind of lifestyle. Like I said also, some of us, we are, especially men, we are the one that can open all the skirts in this world in spite of the number of wives or children we have, because our John Bull is still active, and we think we are still agile. So all these things, they have their own stories to tell about our lives. Yes, it is true that they say sexual activity helps to tame or reduce prostate, or is part of the cure for prostate, which I would say anybody from 60 and above, any man from 60 and above, with few exceptions, and the exception might come as a result of the lifestyles that these people are living. Every man from 60 are most or are 90% likely to develop prostate enlargement. And this is the disease for men, just as fibroid is the one for the women. So any man can develop that, no matter how little. But if the man is careful and is checking his health status, prostate-wise all the time, there are a lot of things that he can do to ensure that it does not go beyond the level that is tolerable. Prostate kills, and once it is enlarged to an extent and is infected, and how is it infected? When you can no longer pass urine very well, and your sperm has no room to float, and so on and so forth, and the place becomes so enlarged, from the urine, infection can come. The urine storage, the one you ought to pass out that you are not passing out, it might develop into infection, and then from that infectious state, you might develop cancer. And once cancer comes in, that is it. It's not easily reversible, but it can be prevented if proper care is taken on time. Now, I've done a video, like I said, that is talking about if you want to live a peaceful life and so on and so forth after 60, you need to go back to nature. That is where I talk about herbal remedies for all the diseases that you can talk about. Herbal remedies. Then, of course, you have the orthodox remedy, that is orthodox medication, going to your hospitals and also and so on and so forth. And then there is also what I call spiritual remedy. If your spiritual state, if you are in good tune with God, there will be less of stress in your system. And if you are the type also, there is a social remedy also. You can still classify the spiritual as well as the social remedy. The spiritual as well as the network or relationship remedies into social remedy. That is, if you are the type that is in good tune with your God, you are not likely to develop many diseases that plague you. You are not going to be lonely because you are still interacting maybe in your church, and you are communing with your God, and you are praying, and you are enjoying your activities, spiritual activities. And then it's even better again when you are the type that is at least minimally, let me put it that way, sociable. You network with members of your family, your children, extended members of the family, uncles, and brothers here and there. Or you also, part of the social remedy is the idea of, okay, you belong to a club, Ikoyi Club, Rotary Club, Lions Club, or members of various groups in your churches which keeps you active, But then all these things must be done to the limit of your ability. Then there is the physical remedy, that is, you exercise your body always. These are lifestyles. You exercise your body. Little exercise as simple as breathing in and out, jogging, doing little exercises according to your ability. When you get to the point where it is difficult for you, stop. Exercising your body is not to kill yourself. No. I remember one of the late governors in this country. That was an accident too. I'm not saying what he did is wrong. It's a sporting activity. He was enjoying having this late Governor Kangiwa was on horse race. Unfortunately, there was an accident on the horse and he died. So maybe for his age at that time, maybe that kind of tedious exercise was too much for him. I used to encounter late Dimkat Bali at Ikoyi Club, where I was a member also. He was a member of the Ikoyi Club, and he was, I used to see him there. And also, he's a golfer. He plays golf. Those are exercises that are good for old age. And he lived long. He died at a ripe old age. Baba Afebawala is still living today and kicking. Obasanjo is living and kicking. All of them are engaged in one thing or the other that is helping them. When Obasanjo was interviewed the other day, he said, I am even surprised he did not mention God. He said, what is the secret of your longevity? He said, good food, good exercise, and in a number of other things. But he didn't even mention that God, but he said he exercises himself very well. So they might be like something that is jovial, but these are the real things of life. You need to be connected to your God. You need to be connected to people. So, and you need to have planned your life in such a way that by the time you are old, the investment you made on your children will begin to yield positively for you. It contributes to your longevity. And then you need to also take your medication very seriously. One experience I noticed is that by the time you are 60 and above, you will discover that you spend more money on medication. In fact, more than you needed to spend on raising your children or taking care of your family when you were much younger. You spend more money. And if you don't have that money to spend as at that age and above, you may die early, and you may die painfully. You may suffer from pain. You may suffer agonies, health agonies of your life. And at the end of the day, one will die early. And then, like I did say, there are so many other activities of life that will help you. For instance, you suddenly discover that it is retirement age. I'll give you an example. In my organization, there was a man that used to join us in our staff bus. He was a security man. And this man had reduced his age. He declared that he was not yet 60. And we never knew. But one thing that was characteristic of him was that he was always quarreling in the vehicle. Before we arrive at our office every morning, he must have quarreled with 2 or 3 people in the staff bus. Everything is agonizing. One day, we just got to his bus stop, and to pick him, he wasn't there. By 10 a.m., we were told he was dead. And by the time they revealed his age, he was already over 70, maybe about 75 or something, thereabouts. You can imagine such a man who would have retired at 60. About 15 years after, he was still stressing himself, starting work at 7, closing at 4 p.m. Which I told you there is an active and passive life. Anything you do after 60 years of age now should be something you will do at your own pace, not somebody waking you up, timing you to do anything anymore. And if you get yourself overstretched, you will die before your time. That man ought to have been resting since 60 years. That's 15 years before that time. And he died. And okay, somebody like me, I just thank God for one thing. I had never wished I retired at the age of 60 in my life. Even when they brought the form for us to fill in my organization in those days, they said, when would you like to retire? They gave us the form. Initially when we joined it was 55 years. Then they have moved it to 60 and they said, you can now retire anytime from 55. It says 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. I just talked to the 55 years that was put there. But in my own private life, I was working towards retiring at 45 years, because one of the things I had in mind was that it is better to live when the ovation was loudest. I said the worst case scenario, I will retire at 55. At least that will be compulsory. I wanted to retire when I will still be useful to myself much longer after I had left paid employment. I wanted to try my hands on my own organizations, which I can run passively, which I can run at my own time, employing other people to do it as just supervise them without stress, give them directions. And I wanted to retire early so that I could be in a position to be creative. That what is left with me that I was still using to serve my organization, I can use it to serve myself. Many other considerations. So my private life's plan was to retire at 45. Then of course, whether I liked it or not, compulsory retirement age to me, even when it is 60 officially, I chose 55. Now, guess what? When did I retire? I retired at 51. You can see in between 51. 4 years before my mandatory retirement. And what kept me from 45 to 51? What kept me till 51? Simply because as at 45, none of our children has graduated. And even at that 51, only one of our children had graduated. The other one graduated a year after. The remaining graduated after I had retired. Also, I have this belief that whatever I pursue till 55 and I can't get inside my organization, working environment, let me go and creatively get it in my private life. So, those of us who are lingering that they should increase the retirement age, we are just undoing yourself. It is a lifestyle. You cannot be forcing yourself to work when you're in our body system. It's like the engine of a vehicle. An average vehicle is built to last for 20 years. And after 20 years, headache today, headache tomorrow, even from about 4 years, the best lifespan of a vehicle that you enjoy it is 4 years, even where there are good roads. But when a vehicle is like 15, 20 years, it will no longer be the same. A lot of repairs to keep it running. The same thing with our lives. A lot of things need to change, especially when we are 60. Now, lifestyle change, again, is still part of what I'm saying. The food we eat, how we eat it, our sleeping time, our exercise, then taking good care of your health in terms of visiting the hospital regularly. Some people will be proud that I haven't visited the hospital for 20 years. Well, the day you will visit hospital, maybe it will be too late then. It is not a sign that you are not sick. You are wearing out. Even from 50, you are already wearing out. But by the time you are 60, you are fast wearing out. So if you don't care for yourselves, then you will find that life may not be what you think it is. You may cut your life short by years. So you need to make sure that you get to the lab, get your doctor to recommend to you the type of tests you need to do that is suitable for your age, so that whatever is going wrong in your system can still be remedied. Two, like I said, the kind of food you are eating may be the type that is destroying your health. For us to be eating as if we are young, when we can run around and burn the energies and all that, the calories or whatever, to still be doing that at 60. I'll give you an example. When I retired at 51, I sat down to calculate the number of times I've not eaten pounded yam in my life, being an Ekiti man. I calculated it. I said I wanted to eat it in arrears. The number of sleep I had sacrificed when I was working up to the age 51. I said I wanted to be sleeping long enough to recover them. And then many other things. Those two in particular, I wanted to work on them. But let me tell you the one that is actually dangerous for me. That is the food side. I was eating, indiscriminately. Pounded yam. Then they said fruits are good for this body. I started eating fruits. Then it was then I discovered the idea of drinking smoothie. You combine mango with banana, with watermelon, with cucumber. You just grind everything together. Drink a smoothie. Hey, not knowing that all this, the pounded yam I was eating was rapidly increasing my sugar level. All those combination of fruits. Fruits are good, but you need to know how to eat them. All those combination of assorted fruits and all that lifestyle, I think I was enjoying. And I was still drinking Coke very well. I love Coke so much. The first 10 years of my time, I was engaged in full commercial farming, full-scale commercial farming. And so I needed something to energize me. I drank a lot of Coke. I drank a lot of energy drinks. A lot. When I combined all these things, it wasn't long after that I went for a test. The first thing that indicated in my system was the indication that my prostate was enlarging. Then, even as at that time, at that age of 51, I wasn't particularly very sexually active again anyway. Sexually active. So, my prostate was enlarging. And what do? I didn't know what to do. Well, I tried to do something by going to the chemist or pharmacy to buy some prostate prescriptions, on-the-counter prostate prescriptions. But do I know how regular, how often, and how well I should take it? I don't know. I will just buy one bottle today, and I will take it, and I forget about it. Whereas it needs constant maintenance to ensure that it works well, and not only that, I have to sustain it. And the anti-BP I was taking, of course, I was still taking that one regularly. I started taking it at the age of 46. And that was 5 years before retirement. And I still maintained that. And just like that, I was just living all these kind of lives. And at a stage, I just discovered I started having blurry eyes. That is in addition to my prostate enlargement now. Then as time went by, one eye was completely not seeing. No matter how bright the light, even sunlight, I would not see it. Then I was taking some medications anyway, eye medications, but some of the eye medications I was taking, they were contradicting themselves. And then I was also taking, of course, my BP medication. I was intermittently taking something for prostate, which I should have treated ruthlessly and consistently. So many of the experiences we have in life is not that the medications we are taking are not working. It is because we are not taking them long enough. And unfortunately, our doctors don't have the time to sit by us and educate us because they have so much to do and so on and so forth. Then, before I knew it, the second eye was going, was already, let me rate it, 70% gone. Practically I was technically blind, so to speak. I got worried. Thank God I said, if your children are merciful, the investment you made on them, they will pay you back somehow in your old age. My children took me to a lab. For the tests alone, I spent about 200,000 then. When I say I, courtesy of the wonderful children that the Lord gave to me. And I did a lot of tests, ECG, kidney, eye, everything. Then finally, they located a reputable eye clinic for me at Victoria Island and so on and so forth. Now, by the time they gave me the bill, even the children combined together could not. If they even attempt to shoulder the bill, then it means they will be serving me alone at the detriment of their own family. It was then I realized that yes, there was problem. My pension cannot put my pension together, put everything I have together as assets, maybe a house or a car or whatever, put them together, cannot sustain my health for my health treatment, cannot sustain it for maybe 2 to 3 visits in that eye clinic. First of all, the tests were run, and the amount spent on the test alone, scanning the eyes, and has to be done several times. And then by the time we got to prescription, I was slammed with 400K bill for just one treatment, one injection. And only God knows the number that I would take. What was first recommended was that I would take like 4. Then by the time I would go and come back several times, the bills started rising. The last injection I took from them cost 1.5 million. Just one dose. That's why I say, what you spend on your health when you are old is greater than what you needed to send your children to school when you are much younger and feed your family. Now, the first dilemma is, as I told you, if you put everything about me together, I cannot sustain myself. Not even for up to 3 visits if I sold everything I have. What does that tell you? I'm not wealthy enough to be able to even take care of myself. And if the burden shifted to my children, the children that are still struggling to find their feet, and in a situation, in an environment like Nigeria, where talents are being wasted, how much are they earning? And won't they take care of their children? So if I if that is pushed to them, then all of us put together, we are in trouble. You will not be a burden to your children. I will not be a burden to my children. In Yehoshua's name. You call him Jesus, but his name is Yehoshua. So, when I'm saying Yehoshua's name, I'm not chanting incantation. I'm not an antichrist. So, Yehoshua is what you call Jesus. Jesus is an invented name. It's not real. Yehoshua, which is his name, is the most appropriate thing. So let me clear that. Now, by the time I found myself in this situation, what will I do? But I give glory to God. My medical benefits covered it. That was the saving grace. I pray that as the Lord lives, you will not die before your time. You see, there are two ways. It's either you work in an organization where the medical benefit, even after retirement, can cover your medical bills. Or you must have invested so much that paying so much money on your health will not be difficult for you. That because you have businesses that are yielding you heavy income, you need more money in your old age than your younger age. I tell you from experience, you need more. And if you can't do it, you will die prematurely. Life is blunt. Life has no mercy for anybody. As you lay your bed, so you will. As you lay your bed, so you will lie on it. So those of us who are still in our younger ages and then we are still making the money now, we think it will be like that forever. Just pray that everything work out. For how many people now are working that will be benefit, that will have pension, no matter how little? And how much pension will any organization pay to you now that inflation will not take away from you? How much will you earn as a pensioner that will enable you to pay millions for your medical bills when you are old? You don't have terminal disease yet to forget about that one. And what is it that leads to terminal disease? When diseases that are not detected early and they are not prevented, your lifestyle has led you to a lot of things. You develop diabetes because of excessive alcohol consumption, gluttonous living style, and so on and so forth. And from prostate, it becomes cancerous, then you become a cancer patient. And so on and so forth. Careless life. And you are not even in tune with God. And the people in your family that you've hurt before, they now look at you and say, it's finished for him. Because when it was well with him, did he remember anybody? Another agony. And they will be saying it to your hearing. That is why, what kind of life have you lived before? When you remember your family, what have you contributed to your family? If you remember, or somebody just says something. Somebody died in a family that I knew, and the first thing that somebody said was, what benefit did we gain from him when he was alive? It's only the name that we just carry. Nothing, no single benefit. He doesn't even want to see anybody from the larger family. Is that your own report? That pain, that report that you hear will sting your heart and will give you sorrow. That is why when you make hay when the sun shines, when you can still help as many as you can. By the time you remember or they remember you, and how can you say, when somebody now remembers you that you helped him before and started sending you something, you remember, you'll be happy. Joy. That is part of what leads to longevity. Joyful reports of your past deeds. But if you have not done well, it is me, my wife, and children. Yes, even your own children now cannot take care of you. Yourself cannot take care of yourself. Nobody to even sympathize with you. May that not be your portion. So you can see that, life is blunt. Longevity today is for everybody. In those days, yes, there was no medical care. There was everyone die anyhow. But life expectancy now is very high if you take good care of yourself. Now, I try to explain what happened to me. Experience is the best teacher. From that experience I had, I can teach you something if you consider it worthy to take. Your lifestyle, how you have been living in the past, they will reflect in your old age. Then, what are the other same things that happen in your old age? Because you are no longer as active, I told you from 60 you are on your passive. Some people started their own at 55, some people at 50, but your own, if you lived well, your own passive life begins from 60. One, you don't need to be working against your will then. Two, you don't need to have stress. Three, you ought to have been having good returns from your investments. It will be worse if you don't have any such investment. And we know what it means to invest in Nigeria when the whole of your investment can go down the drain. The bank you think you put money into can sink. The businesses you invested money into can suddenly disappear. And that's the kind of time and chance, being at the right place at the right time. Ecclesiastes chapter 9 or so. The race is not for the swift, nor success for the smart, but those whom time and chance favor, who are at the right place at the right time. If you are not the type, all your investment might go down the drain. I had my own share of that too. I went into farming for 10 years. I came back, when I say farming, commercial farming. I came back with an experience that is better kept to myself, because I don't regret any action I take. I took it because I felt it would work. But farming, commercial farming, didn't work. I lost. As an example of the kind of, when we say invest, yes, we go into commercial farming. For instance, you have failed from day one because natural and unnatural developments, factors, will come in. The rains might not come at the right time, and you don't have money for irrigation, or even if you have irrigation, the cost of running those mechanized farming is no joke. The inputs, the labor, everything that you put in, you will not realize your money. That's the truth. So those who say they went into farming and they ran into trouble, don't mock them. It is so dangerous a business. I'm just giving the example. And one may have done 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of such investment, and then one gets fed up, and then you are now old, nothing to fall back upon. All the efforts to invest went down the drain. May that not be your portion. May time and chance, being at the right time, at the right place at the right time, favor you. Life is blunt. Elon Musk, Microsoft, that is, what's his name? Bill Gates, and so on. They were at the right place at the right time. It favored them. They made the choices that, though they were not sure, they took risks, and the risk worked out for them. And they invested their intellect. They invested in their intellect, and they operated within the scope of what will work for them. How many of us are that lucky? Okay. So, lifestyle matters a lot. Now, let's look at it from food angle. when you are 60 and above, I beg you, you need to check out the type of food you eat, the type of drinks that you take. I told you my experience. Those things I was taking, thinking that they will help my health, they were counterproductive. They were increasing my sugar level. Got to the point that by the time I did more tests, my kidney was already having issues, my heart was having issues, my liver was having issues, and I had prostate and I had blurry visions as a result of the fact that those organs are not working they are not synchronizing their activities. I had to start treating them. Then 2, treatment. I told you there are spiritual treatment. I'm a pastor, so I wouldn't say I don't believe in God. I wouldn't say that. And I pray for good health. And I interact with people well as much as possible. Yeah, I interact well. And when you talk of my interaction was okay, but my feeding habit was contrary to what is good for good health at 60. And all those things that I was taking were part and parcel of what was affecting my kidney, my liver, everything. My liver was full of fats as a result of the things that I was taking. So this food aspect is very important. I stopped drinking Coke. I stopped drinking tea. I can drink tea 24/7. Taking in sugar. I stopped taking energy drinks. Then the fruits. I researched very well on how to take them. I don't combine them the way I was. The way I was doing it was poisonous to the system. Then, treatment. I trust in God. I trusted in God that whatever it is, the problems I had will be overcome. I prayed towards that God should lead me should guide me on how to overcome this problem. Then, 2, medication. I told you I was with an eye clinic, a reputable eye clinic. Let me just mention Skippers and Sanusi Fafunwa. They tried their best. These doctors come from India every month to attend to us. And they tried. But the disadvantage of it eventually was that these injections that were administered to me, they last only for 1 month. And once the potency goes, darkness came again. So I didn't know what to do. And that was from year 2021 to 2024 or early 2025. I still go there today for checkup. Now, in about March 2025, they told me they've done enough. They could not do anything more. And I looked up and down. And the potency of the last injection I took, which cost 1.5 million naira, was already going. Am I returning to the dark days again? That is why I say, look, there is social remedy. There is social remedy that is like how you interact with people, how you relate with your God, that's spiritual, how you relax, how you do so many, networking, in summary. Then there is the medical intervention, like the one I took now. You can see that even though I have taken steps on those 2, I have good network. of people. I interact well. I don't have domestic problem with my wife or with anybody. Then I did what I could do to help people when I was agile, when I was active. So I didn't feel guilty that I didn't help anybody. And then now, medical remedy. To God be the glory, I was able to get the medical remedy. All these things have not solved my problems. Then, what next do I do? The moment they told me that, I said, well, my wife looked at me and we looked at ourselves. Retired to faith, so I started researching again. Then, of course, I've sold GNLD products before. I've bought some Chinese products in terms of herbal medication. I started researching into herbal medication. And eventually, I was able to discover some. I started taking them. Let me tell you, orthodox medicine, they are very expensive. Herbal medicines, they are very expensive. But the choice is now for you to choose between remaining blind early enough and then prostate kills you, or all the liver, heart, prostate and kidney problems that have been diagnosed now. It's either I left them to kill me or I did something. And the next alternative is to try the herbal medications. And I opted for that. You know, anytime we go to these medical doctors, they will tell you anything herbal, forget it. No matter where it came from, no matter how scientifically proved you think you have done it, I said, forget it. So that impression has been there. But this time around, do I have any choice? I ventured. And I give glory to God today that I did. By the time I've treated on orthodox medication, I have treated these ailments for 4 years and they gave up. Now, I have treated the same problems for just by March 2026 was precisely 1 year. Today, my eyes can see. See, these are the eyes. These eyes were gone before. Could not see, could not, no matter how bright the light might be, could not see. My kidney that was red is now green. My liver that was red is now green. My prostate that was 8.4 is now below 4.0, which is the tolerable level. I'm okay. This is my testimony about herbal medication. Then, the disadvantage, it's expensive. It's expensive. Initially, when I started, I tell you, and of course, my medical benefit from my organization could not cover this because they didn't recognize herbal things. So I have to do it personally with the help of my children also, and with the help of those who loved me, when you are in a good family, you don't know what it means. Those who were responsible for my transportation to and from Lagos, those who were supplementing my bills, and then it still ran into millions that I spent personally without even having recourse to my children. That's my testimony. Thank God. That's why I always say, we parents, be moderate in whatever you do. You have too many children. Well, maybe some of them will be lucky to be wealthy and they will take good care of you. But you may be unlucky that if they are many and they can't take care of themselves, they won't remember you. And your children will remember to the extent of what they can afford. They won't live their own life and sacrifice theirs for you 100%. No. So that little that they may be able to do, if you are able to take care of yourself, then you will get your remedy. The worst period I've experienced in my life was age 61 to 63. I've said it, 61 to 63. That I survived that, I give glory to God. Today, I'm doing well. And what are the things that I'm now doing? After all those herbal medications, I changed my lifestyle. I stopped eating pounded yam. I told you I stopped drinking Coke. I stopped all those other things that were ruining my health unknowingly, thinking I was enjoying. I'm now sleeping better, deeper. For instance now, if I want to sleep, one of the lifestyle change, I switched off all the lights. No single dot of light. I had a perfect sleep. Then the habit of being on YouTube or on the phone for till, or putting it on the bed and beside me, or that. By 8 o'clock, I've closed all that. I sleep better. Now, all the medications that they were working, and I'm improving very well. The eyes that could not, no matter how bright the light was, even the sunlight that I could not see, even ordinary little light now will disturb my eyes. I had to use this shade now just to lower the intensity of the brightness. So I can see. I couldn't read anything at all. I can read bold letters now. And it's maintenance. I have to continue with this maintenance. I've done it for 1 year. One of the reasons that it appeared that these medications are not working, especially herbal ones, is that we don't use it the way the producers or the manufacturers prescribed. No. And some of them we just start. We take 1 month, 2 months. We think it's over. Quick fix. Something that has been troubling you from, prostate. I noticed prostate at the age of 50 something. And then I'm now 69. And I want it to be over in just 1 month. No, it doesn't work out that way. Life is blunt. That which took time to develop will take time to reverse. Those of you depend on, I prayed about it and suddenly I went to a program and I prayed and then suddenly, go and continue to check. I'm not saying there is no spiritual healing. But where you have harmed yourself, you may need spiritual whatever. You may need other remedies to be able to. It might be spiritual. It might be orthodox medication. It might be social networking. It might be herbal medication. You need a combination of so many things, factors, to be able to reverse that situation. So there is no single remedy, no single point remedy. So I would say, now since I've been taking these things, my visitation to the hospital, very, very minimal, unless I have malaria. I think in the past 1 year now, I've treated malaria only once, majorly, only once. So, the various medication prescriptions they gave to me in the herbal thing, they are helping me. Even there are prescriptions that has to go into my stem cell, that goes to my cells for healing, and they are delivering as promised. So then on the food style, like I said, I don't sit down and eat large volume of red meat again. I simply feed on little dry fish. Even the chicken, when I researched into it, I discovered It was proved also that even the white meat, that is the chicken, especially broiler, that we are eating, has good flesh and all that it has its own side effects. Hardly. Maybe on rare occasions, but it's no longer part of my regular meal. I replaced yam with potatoes, which is beneficial for the eye. Then I replaced all these early morning heavy meals. Now, let me break them down before we round up. My routine now is this. When I wake up in the morning, I start with warm water with lemon. Warm water with lemon. Cut one lemon into two. Squeeze the water of half of it into a glass cup of water, warm water, not hot water, warm water. Leave it for about 10 minutes and sip it. Don't drink it as if you are thirsty. Drink it slowly. Let it be the starting point in your life and your meal for that day. Then, research helped me to discover that turmeric and black pepper. Turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. If you need these details, you may need to contact me directly. 080-344-65225. I discovered that the use of turmeric with black pepper helped to deflate the inflammation that would have helped, including the prostate. Then 3 fruits. An apple a day, small apple, or if it is big, you can cut into 2. Eat half of it. Goes a long way in dealing with the free radicals that cause a lot of diseases in your body. More details, we can discuss that. I take that. Small apple or half of a big one. I take that. It is the police for all the free radicals that cause diseases in our body. Drives them out instead of allowing them to disturb your system. Then, for prostate, I drink tomato paste. Not the one in the market. Just buy raw tomato. Boil it. I drink it also in the morning. Then, instead of jumping to rice, pounded yam, bread, and all these things, no. I take a little bit of oats, cocoa oats. There are ways to prepare it. Of course, you need to add little salt when you are mixing it. And then you prepare it, just little dose. That's the order. I take it. Then, I start my meal with eggs. What is recommended now is 6 eggs a day for adults, especially for those of us above 60 years. 6 eggs. Every boiled egg, preferably boiled. Some people will say, let me fry. Well, but you won't get the maximum benefit except it is boiled. I make sure I take 6 eggs. I could spread it over between 6 a.m. and 12 noon every day. But sometimes I sit down, I just eat the 6 at once. By the time I did that, I'm full already. After that, any other thing that I want to eat, I can just eat little. If I feel like eating rice, though I don't recommend it for adults. If I feel like once in a while, maybe once in a week or even or twice in a month, then if it is potato, yes, I can safely eat that. Boiled potato preferably. Eating with the, the back of it. Washed thoroughly, not peeled. Eating with that. I can add stew to it and eat. And you see that with all I've taken, I'm full already. I don't need to take so much. So I'm okay. Today, I'm highly energized. I've never seen myself being tired. and I've never been tired. My energy level surges. I'm highly hyperactive. My brain is active. My everything about me is active. You can see combination of medication, either spiritual. I pray to my God. Networking, I network with people. Medication, orthodox medication that I'm taking, my anti-BP, I still continue to take them. While I switch to herbal, which goes to the root of everything and is reducing my number of visitations to the hospital now. Then, this lifestyle that I'm taking, and I eat only twice in a day. I fast for at least 14 hours. That is, I eat my breakfast between 3 and 4 p.m. And once I do that, I don't eat until 6 o'clock or 7 the following day. Starting with that routine that I just listed. Since I've been doing this, my life has been the better for it. My visions are getting clearer. My prostate has come down. My liver, there's no more clogging, fat clogging my liver. If it's functioning well, my heart is excellent. My kidney, superb. No kidney stone. The redness of the something is gone. So, these are the things that I'm doing now. At least I'm giving them to you freely. How would you have known about all these combinations? It took me several months to carry out this research, and I worked with them, and they are working for me. Not only that, a friend of mine, I just gave him a call. He's 72 years old. I gave him a call. How are you? This and that. We greet one another, at intervals. And he just told me, oh, all is not well. My liver, my stomach is swollen, my leg is swollen, everything about me. Of course, short of saying, I'm already dying. I said, okay, I've heard you. I got across some of these herbal medications for him. Just 2 weeks. By the time it was 1 month, everything is over. And he gave me the testimony. I'm happy. One or two other people too gave their testimonies that I've recommended them to. And they are working. That's why I postulated that there is no disease that is not reversible if detected early. It has worked for me, it has worked for my friend, it has worked for a few number of people that I've introduced them to. That's why I'm saying, particularly those of you who have old people in your homes, those who are above 60, your mom, your dad, your uncles, you want, and you have been spending so much on their medication going for orthodox, you might need herbal remedies. You might need herbal remedies. Me, I believe in it now, and it is working for me. Don't forget your God. Don't live a careless life. Bible says somebody that tilts towards luxury will end up in poverty. And when you end up in poverty, your days are cut short because you won't have money to take care of your old age. So, invest in your children so that at least they are the first point of call if you have issues. Whatever they can do, they will do. Invest in other people. You never can tell whom God can use at your point of need. You are not doing it because you want something back from them. But God may lay it upon their hearts to say thank you. All these things go a long way to enable you to enjoy your old age. Then all those pains, all those agonies that old people experience can be prevented. I tell you now, I don't suffer from any kind of terrible pains anymore. and my body is light. I'm as agile, just like Moses would say. I was young and now I'm old. I'm 80 years something and my eyes are not blurred. No wonder. Moses and co, they lived in the period of herbal medication, the kind of food they eat, spiritual exercises, bodily exercises, everything put together led them to old age. And is it 80 years or 120 years that he said it was? 120. So attaining the age of 120 in this dispensation is not difficult at all. I wish you excellent health. This is the much that I can say, I can talk about. If you have questions, please contact me on 080-344-65225. I would prefer that you please pass your comments here so that when I read it, I can respond. Or better still, just call me. Don't mind the credit you will spend. Call me on WhatsApp. At least that's cheaper. Call me on your telephone, regular phone number, 080-344-65225. Or you may also call me on 080-352-00122. If one fails, the other will work. I'll be glad to share more experiences with you. And then as for the medications, the herbal medications, please, we now market them. So if you want to get for your loved ones, for yourself, for your loved ones, for your fathers, mothers, uncles, old people, 080-344-65225, 080-352-00122. Now, I also told you that I'm not just a pastor that will minister to you and tell you sermons, meaningless sermons that they don't even practice themselves. I'm now telling you, I'm after you also being able to make maximum level of the money you can make on earth. Because money answers all things. Without money, you can do nothing. All these medications we are talking about run into millions. In your old age, if you don't have anything you are doing to get your money, you may not live long. And you may live an agonized life. That will not be your portion. That will not be my portion. It is agonizing when somebody is old and cannot buy medication for himself. And then you resign to fate. No. We are also into real estate business, where there is a sister organization that is into real estate, and there's landed properties all over the place that they help to market. I know them. If you want to, I can recommend you to them. That I knew, they have sold over 80 plots with reputable real estate organization, design homes in Ibadan. Now, those of you who have children abroad, you can help them today to introduce this product to them so that they can buy land that they will meet in the future. There are promo prices going on, even for this Easter and, of course, intermittently. If you are interested, and I will suggest you do, you yourself can buy for your children so that they will meet it there, instead of buying land in these local people that before you get there, they've resold it to another person and trouble comes and all that. Why not invest in this? For more details also, please get in touch with us. 080-344-65225. The investment, if you don't have money, remember the testimony I said that the other boy gave. Somebody who has built several houses in different areas in Lagos and say, I cannot be broke forever. Such a person will be able to pay for his medical bills at old age. And if he had, again, invested such, if he has encouraged his children to have, of course, those children too, they have crossed the poverty line. So, this is a fairly long video, but it's long and beneficial. Why not take advantage of it? My name once again is Pastor Yemi Omogboyega. Please share this message. Pass your comments. Contact us. If you need us, let us partner together. When I say partner, let us work together to better your financial situation and to better your health situation. There are other messages that we give. And then on the spiritual side, listen to the sermons, family devotional. They are all on this page on YouTube. And now I'm posting them to TikTok so they can profit you also. Why not take advantage of them? Subscribe to our channel. God bless you. I pray it is your turn to share your own testimonies as to your health, healthy health, and as to your financial breakthrough, not only for now, but for the future and for your generations to come. Tell your friends about all this. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family members. Share it even with your supposed enemies. God bless you. Bye for now.